Good morning, all of you. Today we will discuss the SN2 reaction mechanism. SN2 reaction and mechanism. Now, what is mechanism? Mechanism is nothing but the stepwise discussion of the reaction as the number of steps possible in the theoretical reaction are more. And while studying this SN2 reaction mechanism, we will consider the hydrolysis of methyl bromide in presence of aqueous NaOH, which provides you the nucleophile that is OH minus. Methyl bromide, it acts as a substrate, and here it undergoes the type of reaction that is hydrolysis. And on hydrolysis, we obtain a product that is methanol, and the leaving group that is the bromine minus has left the substrate molecule. It acts as a leaving group. And so, while studying this mechanism of the SN2 reaction, we are going to study in different steps. So, the first step is the kinetics of the reaction. So, we will study the kinetics of the reaction, then we will study the proposed mechanism of the reaction, then we will deal with the that why the backside attack is possible in the SN2 reaction, and then the intermediate that is obtained, that is the transition state, and then at last we will deal with the stereochemistry of the reaction. And so here if we see, our general theme is that why we need to study the mechanism, because in this reaction three things are taking place: that the CBr bond has been broken, the COH bond has been formed, and what are the energy changes that are associated with this reaction. These are the three things that we are mainly want to deal with. And so what the kinetics tells, because in the first step or in this reaction, the Br minus acts as a leaving group and OH minus acts as a nucleophile. The kinetic study of this reaction shows that the rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate and the concentration of the nucleophile, where the rate is equal to K2 into concentration of substrate, that is methyl bromide, and the nucleophile OH minus, where this K2 is the second order rate constant. Why it is second order rate constant? Because in the reaction, in the slow step where the rate of the reaction is being determined, is having two molecules involved in the slow step, that is the substrate and the nucleophile. And so we will deal with the mechanism, proposed mechanism. But before proceeding to the proposed mechanism, what the things are happened, that is the CBr bond has been broken and the COH bond has been formed. So the bond breaking process, that is the CBr bond breaking, is an endothermic process. So from where does it get the energy? And the COH bond formation is the exothermic process in which the energy is being released. And so, how this energy associated with this reaction is taking place, that we want to study. So, what is the proposed mechanism of this reaction? So, the proposed mechanism of this reaction is that this methyl bromide, methyl bromide, it reacts with the nucleophile, that is OH minus, and here this OH minus attacks from this backside, the leaving group cleaves, means here the hydrolysis process starts. And so in this first step, that is the slow step, these both things are taking place simultaneously. As the scientist Ingold has proposed this mechanism, OH minus attacks it from the backside, and you get the formation of HO with C. Here these three hydrogen atoms and carbon, they are lying in one plane, and the Br minus is leaving the molecule. So here, when the COH bond formation starts, bond formation is an exothermic process. The nucleophile attracts the carbon, and here the bond formation process starts. As it is exothermic process, energy is being released, and this energy which is being released is utilized for the CBr bond breaking. Means simultaneously, as the bond formation starts, the CBr bond breaking also starts, and so it is a concerted mechanism. And when both these things are happening, the overall hybridization of the carbon atom, which is sp3, this carbon atom, which is sp3 in nature, having the bond angle 109 degree, it slowly starts changing, and in the transition state, here the hybridization changes to sp2, where it's having a trigonal planar geometry. That all these three hydrogens and one carbon, they are lying in one plane, and the partially bonded hydroxyl group and the partially bonded Br, these both are perpendicular to this plane. And so in this way, this transition state is once obtained, and so this is a slow step, so it is termed as your rate determining step. And as both the molecules, that is the substrate and the nucleophile, are involved in the rate determining step, that's why the reaction is bimolecular. And then as this transition state collapse, the second step, it is fast, and here you see that the product is obtained, that is your methanol, and the Br is a living group which has left the molecule. And so here again, the hybridization which has been converted to sp2 in the transition state is getting converted to sp3 in the product. So this is the overall mechanism. Now, the third thing, and that is most important, that is why backside attack. Why nucleophile attacks from the backside? So here, if we see carefully, that this Br minus is electronegative, Br is a negative charge, it's nucleophilic in nature, it's a less nucleophilic than OH minus, okay. But OH minus, which is negatively charged, and Br minus, which is negatively charged, when they will come closer from the same side, they will repel each other. They will repel each other. And so the attack of OH minus is not possible. It will need high energy in the formation of transition state. And that's why the backside attack is not possible. So here there is Br minus and OH minus repulsion. And so the front side attack is not possible, and that's why attacks takes place from the backside. Then what is transition state? That we have discussed it in a very short now only. That transition state is the state in which, as it is a SN2 bimolecular reaction, the OH minus, as the front side attack is not possible, it starts attacking from the back side, where there is less steric hindrance in this molecule, because this molecule is a primary carbon atom. And as the nucleophile starts attacking the carbon and forms the bond, as the bond formation starts, the energy is being liberated. And this energy is being utilized for the bond breaking of the CBr bond. And the hybridization starts changing from sp3 to sp2. And in the overall, when the partial bond breaking and partial bond formation has taken place, the three hydrogens and one carbon of the methyl group, they lie in one plane, and the living group and the nucleophile, they are perpendicular to this plane. And so the hybridization obtained here, it is sp2 having the trigonal geometry. And as this transition state collapse, you get the formation of the product with inversion in configuration. If you see the structures, inversion in configuration, that is, it's just like the umbrella. Means as the attack is taking place from the back side, the living group departs from the opposite side. This total structure configuration changes in the product. Means the configuration of the reactant and product are totally different. And so in the transition state, it is nothing but the change in hybridization. The energy associated with this reaction is also being explained thoroughly. And so the product obtained is with inversion in configuration. That is the next part, that is the stereochemistry. So the stereochemistry of the SN2 reaction indicates that SN2 reactions always SN2 reactions proceeds with inversion in configuration, with inversion in configuration. And so the configuration of the reactant and products are always opposite in nature. And so here we conclude with the mechanism of the SN2 reaction. And so at last, what is the energy profile diagram of this reaction? If we draw the plot a graph of the reaction coordinate, reaction coordinate, that how it proceeds versus the energy associated or the energy change in the reaction. So here when this methyl bromide reacts with the nucleophile attacks from the backside, leaving group cleaves, this process starts and reaches at a maximum point where you get the formation of a transition state where all the hydrogen atoms and the carbon are lying in one plane, and the bromine and the nucleophile OH minus, they are lying in one, they are lying perpendicular to this plane. And as this transition state collapses, the product is obtained, and that product is nothing but methanol with inversion in configuration. And so in this way, in short, we can explain the energy profile diagram or the reaction how it proceeds. Now, okay, when we are studying the stereochemistry of the, when we want to study the stereochemistry of the reaction, stereochemistry of the SN2 reaction leads into inversion in configuration. And when we say that it leads into inversion in configuration, the backside attack is not, the front side attack is not possible. And the product obtained, we say that it is with inversion in configuration. But here, this starting compound, methyl bromide and the methanol, they give inversion, but the configuration remains the same because it does not contain an asymmetric center. And so when we want to study the asymmetric center, means the carbon which is attached to four different types of groups. Here, three hydrogen atoms are common, and only the nucleophile and the leaving groups are different in this both the molecules. And so the configuration cannot be determined easily. And so the scientist has tried to give the proofs for this reaction. And so what they did, they studied a reaction in which 2-bromo-octane R minus 2-bromo-octane was allowed to react with the aqueous alkali, that is NaOH. This undergoes SN2 reaction and gives you the product, that is S plus 2-octanol. Means here the specific rotation was also checked, where the minus 39.6 degree of the 2-bromo-octane, and here the specific rotation has changed to plus 0.3 degree, 10.3 degree. Now, how this reaction is explained? Here this 2-bromo-octane, that is C6H13 CH, and here CH3, this is bromine, 6, 7, 8. At the second position there is bromine, so 2-bromo-octane, and the configuration here it's R with negative charge having specific rotation minus 39.6 degree. When this is allowed to undergo hydrolysis in presence of aqueous NaOH, the OH minus is the nucleophile which attacks from the back side because the front side attack is not possible. Here it attacks this cleaves. You get a transition state in which CH3, CH and C6H13. These three groups are lying in one plane. The leaving group and the nucleophile, they are lying perpendicular to this. And so in the first step, here you get the product that is 2-octanol. Now, here in this 2-octanol, which is obtained as a product, this 2-octanol having the configuration S with the specific rotation that is plus 10.3 means the specific rotation has also been changed from 39.6 degree to 10.3 and the configuration has changed from R to S. This indicates that the reaction has been proceeded with the SN2 mechanism. But though some of the people say that as these two different compounds are of the different families and so may have different configurations. So this must have not occurred due to the SN2 mechanism. And so that's why they said that this reaction may not help us to determine that the reaction proceeds by SN2 reaction and mechanism. And so the scientists again tried and they studied the another reactions, series of reactions, and they proposed that the reaction may proceed in SN2 fashion only, but for that they have studied that the starting compound and the product, they are the enantiomers of each other. They are the enantiomers of each other. And so they have studied the reaction of the 2-iodooctane. 2-iodooctane. Now in this, what has been done? That this 2-iodooctane, in this reaction, instead of using the another nucleophile, they have used the nucleophile that is I with that is iodine, and this iodine is isotopic iodine, means one iodine atom is replaced by its isotope, and so this I minus isotopic iodine, this attacks from the back side, and here again you get the transition state that is the CH3H C6H13. From one side it is the normal iodine and from the other side it's the isotopic iodine. And here in this transition state, the, it collapses and gives you the product that is I with or iodine in the 2-iodooctane with the isotopic iodine. With the isotopic iodine. And so this has obtained, this was your R plus R, and this is your minus S 2-iodooctane. Now, here, when this reaction is being carried out, one iodooctane molecule, when undergoes the reaction with isotopic iodine and gives you the product, that is S, this configuration of this one molecule cancels the configuration of the another reactant molecule. And so, when you get one molecule of product, the two molecules of R iodooctane are being utilized, and so the rate of reaction has become twice, and so the speed of this reaction increases, and so this indicates that the reaction proceeds by SN2 mechanism only, and the backside attack is only taking place. And so here we will conclude with the SN2 reaction mechanism. And so in this way, it's proved that the reaction proceeds by SN2 mechanism only. Thank you very much.